Lesson 6.1b, percent of a number. We are beginning an entire chapter dealing with all kinds of things, percentage. So we're going to talk about what percent means to begin with. Literally, I'd like for you to write this part down. Percent means per 100. Percent means per 100. So, to find the percent of a number, you can write the percent as a fraction and then multiply, or write the percent as a decimal and multiply. So some things are going on here. First of all, they're saying multiply. I need you to realize that of, so please write this down also, of means times. So that's where the multiply comes in. Of always means times. Percent means per 100. You're trying to find what portion of the amount is equivalent to that percentage. I think you would be much better off most of the time taking the percentage and changing it to a decimal. So what they're showing you on this first example, it says find 25% of 80. Since it's 25%, and percent means per 100, it is 25 over 100. It's 25 out of 100. That's what 25% is. If 25% of a group of people had blue eyes, that means 25 out of that 100 people had blue eyes. That's what percent means. On that particular one, 25 out of 100 reduces to a fourth. And it works out really nicely with 25% of 80 that you could do a fourth of 80 that's 20. And that's why they went that route. But 25 hundredths, what decimal is 25 hundredths? What decimal is that, Liam? 0.25. So I need to show you that 25%, to change a percent to a decimal, you move that decimal 2 places to the left. That's why 25% is 0.25. So what would 16% be as a decimal? Who can tell me? Mason? 0.16. What would 38% be as a decimal? Eli? 0.38. Okay, now I'm going to be a little trickier here. What would, let's see, what would 2.5% be as a decimal? 2.5%. What would that be as a decimal? Somebody that has an answer. Sarah? 0.025, because you would be going boom, boom, and there would be one empty wave in front. So you're moving the decimal 2 places to the left. What if it was 5%? What would that be as a decimal? 0.05. Because the decimal's here, because you don't see it, it's to the right, and you go 1, 2, 0.05. So changing your percentage to a decimal and then multiplying is what we're going to be doing. Emily. Oh, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there. I was testing you guys, and nobody took the bait, so 16. Good job, Emily. That's right, it was 0.16. I can't believe it took that long for somebody to say that. Okay, are we good? You're changing those percentages to decimals. It's going to be the route that we're going to go. So here we go. Let's look at these examples. We're going to check out the odd ones just so we know. Now, when you're given these problems, I'm going to ask not that you write the original problem down, but I want you to write the problem that you're going to use in your calculator. So, here we go. Find 20% 20% of 50. So 20%, what's that as a decimal? Emily? Yeah, 0.20. We said of means times, so I'm going to use parentheses on 50. That's the problem I would expect for you to write. Mason. It could also be just 0.2. Yes, it could be just 0.2. That's the same thing. So 0.20 or 0.2 times 50, and the answer would be 10. This is what I expect you to do on your assignment. Okay, number 3, 5% of 1,500. Somebody that hasn't answered, how do we write 5%? Dylan. 0.05 of means times and 1,500. So 0.05 times 1,500, 75. What is 24% of 500? Somebody that hasn't done one. What's 24% as a decimal? Caden.
24.
Where's your decimal?
24.
Right now it's 24%, and the decimal is right here. But when we change it, you're supposed to move it. 0.24 of is times 500. 0.24 times 500. 120. Do you see why a calculator is going to be important for you? Okay, you could do it without, but it's going to be a lot simpler with one. What about 12.5%? What's that going to be as a decimal? Who hasn't given me an answer yet? I want one of those people. 12.5. Jade, what's it going to be? 0.125 of is times 60. 0.125 times 60. It gives us 7.5. Find 3% of 800. Caden up there, what's 3%? Is it just 0.3? What'd you say? If you move the decimal 2 places, is it just 0.3? Look up at the screen. Here's where the decimal is. How many places are we supposed to? Yeah, we're supposed to move it 2. So 0.03 times 800. 0.03 times 800, just a little 24. And we'll put $24 on that one. I guess I should have put $120 on that one as well. Okay, last one. 25% of 42. Caden Baker, what's 25%? 0.25, and of is times 42. 10.5. All right, questions about that? That is all we are doing today. We're doing percents of numbers. You're going to write the problem down with the percent changed to a decimal. You're going to write it as a multiplication problem. I would recommend parentheses because the dot for times would get confusing with all the decimals. Write it down. You may use a calculator to solve. Are there any questions?